It's In Case You Missed It, brought to you by ICYMI on this Saturday night. The Mavericks getting set to take on Ohio State in the second game of the weekend series. Mike Kemp last night, a hard-fought game with the Buckeyes, not really decided until that empty net goal by Austin Ortega, but a non-conference game, important no matter what time of year you play it.
It really is, and I think it really shows the balance of college hockey. Ohio State has come out of the blocks very slowly this year, have only 3 wins on the year, but they came out and gave the Mavericks everything they could handle, 2-1 late, until we got that empty net goal to kind of give us that 2-goal cushion. I thought that Ohio State came out and played with the kind of fire and intensity that I would have expected from them, knowing their coaching staff as well as I do.
A lot of penalties against the Mavericks last night. They were shorthanded 7 times, and as you know, as a coach, you want to just go out there and roll all your lines, roll all your defensemen, and that makes it an even bigger challenge when you're, killing off penalties and shortening up your bench.
It really does, especially in a non-conference game. You want to be able to use your entire bench. The idea of a non-conference competition is to give your players a lot of experience, but when you're playing shorthanded so much of the game, you're using your top players, shift in, shift out. You're using them 5-on-5, you're using them shorthanded, using them in power play situations, and you don't get to explore your bench as much as you'd probably like to. So you hope that tonight's game will be less penalty filled and more of a skating, freewheeling game where our guys can get out there and really get their legs moving.
Luke Snuggerud scored the Mavericks' first goal last night. That was followed by a goal by David Pope, his second in as many games. And you look at both of those guys. Again, Pope, a guy who, heretofore hadn't been that much of a weapon for the Mavericks, but now seems to be getting into a groove. Snuggerud, the second Maverick defenseman to score a goal, and certainly goals from the blue line would serve the Mavericks well as the season wears on.
That certainly will. We're seeing both of them as sophomores, and a lot of times just getting that second legs as your second-year player, it takes a while to get into the rhythm of the game again after that first year. And I think both of them are starting to round into a good sophomore season. And having shots from the point, goals from the point, as you said, like Luke scored last night, will be important down the stretch, because as the season goes on, teams look to shut down certain lines, shut down individuals, and to be able to get complementary goals from the guys on the back line it's very, very important for us as we look to close out games in the second half of the season.
Finally, another big night for Evan Wenninger, who gets another win. He's now 7-1, and Evan, for all of his youth, seems to be very unflappable in that Maverick net, and I think that gives his team a lot of confidence.
It's amazing. You look at him coming in from the Saskatchewan League. He could play another year of junior hockey, but he's here as a freshman and really playing with such incredible poise. He looks like a veteran in there, look like somebody who's played college hockey for several years, and that really does bode well for our future, because game in, game out, it hasn't been like a one and done. He has played consistently every night that he's been in the nets, and so for us, that's going to be, I think, a very, very important aspect as we look toward the rest of the season.
Mike Kemp, great to have you back here, and in case you missed it, we missed you those first couple times.
Well, thanks, Dave. It's good to be back.
And we hope you enjoy tonight's game.